Racially insensitive Texas rancher Dylan Tucker, Josh Lucas, gets some remedial training in Everardo Gout's The Forever Purge, which steers the franchise away from the horror genre in the direction of the modern Western. It would be easy enough to dismiss the Purge franchise as just another hopped-up, ultraviolent vehicle for visceral mayhem, except for the naggingly accurate satire of its central thesis, giving Americans, a society obsessed with guns, drenched in violent imagery, and driven to tribal aggrievement, at least in part by a right-wing media that gains precious ratings points by continually fanning these flames. A night to observe their darkest violent fantasies without legal repercussion is an inspired bit of hyperbole, cutting so close to the truth you can practically smell the aftershave. That concept has kept the franchise moving through 5 installments now, since 2013, and it has proved to be flexible enough to keep up with the changes in the political landscape. This episode, set in rural Texas, takes the idea of immigration and intolerance for foreigners coming to our country, and turns it neatly on its head. This time, the Purge, reinstated by the new Founding Fathers, once again in power, blasts past its allotted 12 hours, and instead, becomes Everafter, a call to all-out war by racist militias, hell-bent on purifying this country of anyone not lily white. This is exceptionally bad news for Adela, Ana de la Reguera, and her husband, Juan, Tenoch Huerta, newly come to the US via Mexico, after being driven off their land by a cartel. Juan, a gifted cowboy with an excellent horse-wrangling sense, works in service to the ranch led by Caleb Tucker, Will Patton, the patriarch, and, perhaps, one of the very few socialist-leaning ranchers in Texas, whose hot-headed son, Dylan, Josh Lucas, very much does not share his father's more progressive views toward mixing the races. When the Purge continues unabated after the normal curfew, Adela and Juan, Dylan, his pregnant wife Emma, Cassidy Freeman, his younger sister, Harper, Leven Rambin, and Juan's friend TT, Alejandro Edda, all have to go on the lam together in one of the ranch's giant truck rigs, hoping to make it down to the border, where Mexican government officials have offered a tight window of sanctuary for Americans fleeing the violent chaos of their homeland. Yes, it's just that totally on the nose, and this film, directed by Everardo Gout, from a screenplay by the series' sturdy helmsman, James DeMonaco, like all the others before it, walks an exceedingly fraying tightrope, commenting on Americans' propensity and adoration for violence, while producing a blood-soaked, gun-worshipping violent thriller that appeals exactly to that demographic.